Hi, welcome to Board Games Explained. My name is Zach, and today we'll be looking at Century Spice Road, published by Plan B Games and designed by Emerson Matsuuchi. This is the first installment of a 7-part series of going over how to play and combine all the games in the Century series. Century Spice Road is a 2 to 5 player game where players are caravan leaders delivering spices along the Silk Road. Players must trade and exchange spices so that they can fulfill deliveries. Let's take a look at setup. First, grab and separate the 4 different colored cubes and put them into spice bowls. Yellow is turmeric, red is saffron, green is cardamom, and brown is cinnamon. The value of each of these spices goes up in this order, as turmeric is the least valuable and cinnamon is the most valuable. Find the orange backed cards and shuffle them. Then flip 5 face up, placing them in a row. These are the score cards. Place a number of gold coins equal to the number of players times 2 above the leftmost score card. Then place the same number of silver coins above the second card. So in this example, we are set up for a 4-player game, so we need 8 of each. Now find the purple backed cards. Remove the cards that look like this. They will have a darker border than the other trader cards. These are the starter trader cards. One card should have 2 turmeric cubes in the top left. The other should have 2 colorless cubes with an arrow pointing up. There should be 5 of each for a total of 10 cards. Give all players a set of these cards and place the remainder back in the box. Now take the rest of the purple backed cards and shuffle them. Then, flip 6 face up and place them in a row. These are the trader cards. Take a number of these caravan cards equal to the number of players, shuffle them, and give each player 1. Make sure one of them is the caravan card that has the first player symbol. The player with this caravan card is the first player. Player sequence goes in clockwise order. The last step for setup is to give players starting spices. The first player receives 3 turmeric. The second and third player receive 4 turmeric. The fourth and fifth player receive 3 turmeric and 1 saffron. Players will place them on their empty spaces of their caravan card. This is an overview of how the game should be set up. Notice that scoring cards go above trader cards and spices go off to the side. You are now finished with setup, and the first player will start the game. On a player's turn, they must take one of the following 4 actions: play a card, acquire, rest, or claim. Let's take a look at each of those actions. The play a card action allows a player to play a trader card from their hand. When they do whatever the card's iconography indicates. There are 3 types of trader cards. The first are spice cards. When a spice card is played, the active player will take whatever spices are indicated in the top left corner from the supply and place the spice or spices on their caravan card. One of the starting trader cards is a spice card. When played, it gives the active player 2 turmeric. The next trader card type are conversion cards. When played, you may convert a cube to the next most valuable spice. These cards will have colorless cubes with an arrow pointing up. The number of cubes in the iconography indicate how many conversions you can do. However, you do not have to do that many conversions. In this example, we will use the starting conversion card. When played, a player could convert 2 of their cubes to the next most valuable spice, or they could convert 1 of their cubes to a spice that is 2 steps away in value. They could also convert 2 different spice cubes to the next level. Again, it's important to remember that turmeric is the least valuable spice, followed by saffron, cardamom, and then cinnamon. The last card type are exchange cards. Exchange cards allow a player to replace certain spice cubes for other spice cubes. There are 2 parts of the iconography on these cards. The spice cubes above the arrow, pointing down, are the ones the player must put back into the supply. The spice cubes below the arrow pointing down are the spice cubes the player will receive from the supply. They can exchange multiple times with the same card when played, as long as the player can exchange exactly the same number of cubes as shown on the card for each exchange. So in this example, the active player can exchange 2, 4, or 6 turmeric for 1, 2, or 3 cardamom. When a card is played, players will place the card in front of themselves. They are not discarded. Now, back to the actions a player can take on their turn. The next is to acquire new trader cards. A player can take any trader card in the row and place it into their hand. However, they will have to place a spice cube on each of the cards that is to the left of the card that was selected. The cubes that are placed can be of any kind. In this example, the active player wants to acquire the third trader card. They can take it, but must place a spice cube on these 2 trader cards. When a trader card is acquired, slide all trader cards that were to the right of the acquired card down. Now flip a new trader card from the deck and place it in the empty space so that there are 6 cards available. If you acquire a card that has a spice cube or cubes already on it, place those spice cubes on your caravan card. Another action a player can take is to rest. When a player rests, they will pick up all the cards they have already played and they will go back in their hand. They can now be played again on subsequent turns. The last action a player can take is to score. This action allows a player to claim a scorecard. To do so, the active player places spice cubes back into the supply, matching the spice cubes on the scorecard. They will then take that card and put it in front of them, face down. If the scorecard claim is one of the cards that has a gold or silver coin above it, take that coin as well. The number on the scoring card is how many points this card will be worth at the end of the game. The spice cubes shown are what is needed to acquire this card. Then, like trader cards, slide the remaining scoring cards to the right of the scoring card claimed. And lastly, flip a new scoring card from the deck and place it in the new card slot. There should always be 5 cards in the scoring row. If all gold coins are taken before silver coins, move the remaining silver coins to the first card. If a player claims their 5th scorecard in a 4 to 5 player game, or their 6th scorecard in a 2 to 3 player game, the game ends at the end of the round. This means that the player that is right of the first player will take the final turn. All players will get points equal to the added up value of all their scoring cards. They will also get 3 points for every gold coin they have, and 1 point for every silver coin they have. Lastly, players will get 1 point for each spice cube they have that is more valuable than turmeric that is on their caravan card. The player with the most points at the end of the game is the winner. In case of a tie, the player who is later in turn order wins. There are just a couple more rules I'd like to go over. The first is that your caravan card can only hold up to 10 spice cubes. If at any point a player has more than 10 spice cubes, they must return cubes of their choice back to the supply until they have 10. The other rule I'd like to mention is that the spice supply is not limited. If on the chance you run out of spice cubes, use another material as a replacement. It's also worth mentioning that Century Golem Edition plays exactly the same way, except for a couple component and terminology changes. That concludes today's explanation. We hope you liked the video, and we hope you enjoy Century Spice Road. If you have any questions, or would like us to cover a specific game, please leave a comment below. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing and sharing with friends. Thanks for watching.